Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome to, I'm going to count this as the second video in the series because the first video, which I will link below, was all about the difference between American Halloween and Celtic Samhain. So when you see the word Samhain, and it's actually not spelled the way that it sounds, it actually is spelled Samhain, Samhain, but it's pronounced Samhain. So this is a series for those who are interested in honoring Samhain and preparing for Samhain. This is my understanding of Samhain. There are lots of different paths. Do what resonates with you. These are all just things that I do. You are welcome to adopt them. You are welcome to adapt them. Make every holiday should be meaningful to you, whether it's a Christian holiday or a Jewish holiday or whatever. Every holiday should bring you meaning. So there is no right or wrong way. This is just what I happen to do. So in this first installment, we're going to talk about some of the things that you might want to gather together so that you can spend the season getting ready for Samhain, which happens on October 31st. And then in the Celtic tradition, our festivals last 7 days, 7 to 14 days. So there'll be more things that you do after that. But Samhain is sort of the new year, brand new year, like New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, right? So you will definitely want to journal. That's going to be something that will really come in handy. This is a journal that I keep that has all of my my seasonal Celtic eightfold wheel celebrations, things that I do, has the recipes in it, has the incense that I burn, has the candles that I use. Again, no right or wrong way. My friend Hestia always says, like you are all the magic you need, and that is absolutely the truth. Everything you have is within here and within here. You don't need any of these things, and you don't need to spend a lot of money. You can make these things. You can get them at the dollar store. Like, don't fall victim to spending bazillions of dollars on Etsy, because you have to have the fanciest thing. You don't need anything really. But if you want, you can have a journal so that you can kind of document your journey and then go back and look and say, like, that really resonated with me. That really brought me closer to my ancestors. That brought me a lot of meaning, or it didn't. Sometimes I do things and I'm like, this is, nothing's happening here. This doesn't, like, not everything works. It's okay. It's okay. Like, world peace, that's a problem. Whether, like, your reflection of the day didn't bring meaning to you, not the end of the world. Don't worry about it. So you want to journal. You might want to think about getting some candles. You definitely want a place that you can sit and reflect that's quiet. I live in a noisy house. Because my husband is hard of hearing, our fish tanks are so loud. He doesn't hear them, but I do, and they drive me absolutely crazy. But over 25 years, I've been able to block them out. But it's not quiet here, so I turned our guest room into an office, and so I come up here for quiet. And so I also like to go into nature, and that's not always possible because of the weather. But if you have the ability to go into nature, that's the best place, right? To connect with nature, the best place is in nature. But if you don't have that opportunity or don't have the ability to do it, any quiet space works. And you can have around you whatever puts you in the space for reflection. That could be incense, it could be candles, it could be ambient music, it could be heavy metal music. If that's what brings you to your space, there are no right or wrong answers here. Like, you can do whatever it is brings you to your space. But you definitely want to spend quiet time every day. It doesn't have to be hours. It could be 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever you got. Whatever you got. I have, I will link below to the SIP method, which is from Suzanne Geisman, a 3-minute meditation to connect you with spirit. So 3 minutes, you can do 3 minutes a day. But again, no right or wrong answers. So in this series, we're going to talk about different foods that I make for Samhain, sort of like the step-by-step things that I do. I start off with my journal, and then I start off with remembering all those who have passed, right? So I start with with all my family and everything, but then the people who have passed within the past year. And because I do something special with those folks, the ones that passed in the past year, and then I do something in addition with that group, with people who have passed over, a long time ago. So, you might not remember all the people. So start a list, and it doesn't have to be fancy. You can just start it in a little notebook, start a list. I'm going to use paper that I got in a subscription box. Hestia and I unboxed this last night, but I'm going to be putting that you plant this paper It's so pretty. It feels like I don't want to put it in the ground, but I do have to use it. So I'm going to put, and it's got seeds in it. So I'm going to write all the names of my close loved ones on here and do a special intention with this in my yard next to where we buried the turtle, our 75-year-old turtle. So have things that bring meaning. Think about things that are meaningful to you. Like, you can start off the season with smudging, or smoking, whichever word you use. This is my smudge stick. I have a shell. I go around. I actually do this again on Halloween because the veil is thinnest between the living and the dead. So I want to get rid of bad spirits. You want to smoke in the corners of every room, at every doorway, every window in and out. And really, it's just it's like, it's a way to think about the space in which you live and protecting the space and bringing positive energy into the space. We want all negative energy to stay outside. Yesterday, my Samhain activity was to, we have a butterfly bush in a garden out front, and the lights went bad on it, and I call it my fairy garden, and my neighbors call it the fairy garden too, because yesterday there were like 6 butterflies on it when I went out to work and put bird feed in the bird feeder. And it's funny because, people are like, well, the squirrels are going to eat it. I don't care. The squirrels can eat it too. It's for all the fairy folk. Anybody who wants lunch. I feel the same about trick-or-treating. People get all bent out of shape when older kids come. Hey, if older kids are coming to my house for candy, that means they're not out like, egging houses and flattening tires and, and doing vandalism in our park. If giving you a Snickers bar makes you like stay young and not do bad things, come have 2. So I digress so easily. I get so rambly. So, that was my Samhain activity yesterday, was preparing the fairy garden. So, for the Samhain season, I have to put back up our candy chute because we shoot candy down this giant tube. And we did it during COVID, and people love it, and now they know. And we have treats for adults and we have treats for children. We have a basket of whiskey, those little whiskey bottles, and then for people that we know that are 21, people that we actually know, get to pick from that basket, and then otherwise the other adults get soda and candy too. So, so we prepare all that stuff. So I'm preparing the porch, and then today I'll be looking through my journal and starting the list of names of people that I want to honor that have passed this year. And that includes people who are close to me, but also people who passed that are close to people that I'm close to that maybe I didn't know. You don't have to go into all that great detail, but I try to honor all those who have crossed over. So, organize the thing you want. That's step 1, is just to organize all the things that you want to have with you. You might you might add some tools over the course of the month. That's okay. But at least get your space organized, get your materials ready, have a journal that you want to write in, and think about the candles, the incense, the music that you want to listen to, and create your space. So tip 1, create your space. And we'll talk about altar building. I don't call it an altar. I just call it, an ancestral shelf. But some people call it an altar. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about cooking. We'll talk about all kinds of things. So head back here for more tips on how to honor Samhain. Be well. Take care. Wishing you all the best in light and love. Be well. Bye-bye.